Is it worth anything? Today we're talking about peanut butter glasses, and maybe some of you don't realize what that is. Realize that back in like the early 1900s, things like peanut butter were sold in glass jars. And what they started doing in the through the 30s through the 50s is they sold peanut butter in glasses. So the idea was buy our peanut butter, use up the peanut butter, and when you're done, you have a drinking glass, because you weren't just going out to Target then and buying a set of glasses. So of course by the 1960s, everybody was using plastic, so this wasn't as popular then. But there was a time when these were highly collectible. I can remember as a kid going to auctions and they'd go for stupid money. People would pay, I remember people paying up to like $100 per glass because they were trying to get a certain pattern or, complete a set of glasses. And they came in all kinds of things. The florals were very popular. They did holidays, they did textures, they did animals, butterflies. I mean, if you can think about it, they put it on a peanut butter glass. They did Disney characters, different times, different cartoon characters. So there were a lot of different peanut butter glasses, and people collected them really readily, really sought after. So of course, then eBay came along, and I think kind of killed the market for peanut butter glasses. So things that sold recently on eBay, and some of this surprised me. Most of your glasses were going from anywhere from $5 to $20. There was a lid only for a peanut butter that sold for $39, and there were several people on there had sold just lids. There was one sealed peanut butter glass with the peanut butter still in it that went for $100, but what are the chances you're going to find that in somebody's kitchen cabinet? The other thing that surprised me is they had just regular glass labeled jars, Jif, Skippy, whatever different brands. Some of those were going really high. There was one jar that went for $45, but it was, regular peanut butter jar, but it was glass with a metal lid. So some of these things still go for quite a bit of money. Your basic ones, though, that used to sell for stupid money aren't selling for that anymore. So if you have a big collection of those, I hope you're enjoying drinking out of them. Is it worth anything? This week we're talking about vintage ceramic cookie jars. So cookie jars became popular during the 1930s and 40s, and by, of course, the 1950s and 60s, they were kind of a staple in most households. And they're just iconic. I mean, so many of them come in all kinds of different shapes, different themes, different colors. They're fun to collect because, my gosh, the ones I was looking at that recently sold on eBay, you had I Love Lucy, you had Three Stooges, you had giant strawberries, you had roosters. They're very colorful, they're very well made, they're just beautiful. And they're fun to collect because there are so very many different styles out there. So tell me, did you have a cookie jar on the kitchen counter when you were a kid, and what was it? I've put a few of the retro ones on my Amazon page, so you can find that link in my bio. So are they worth anything? The ones that recently sold on eBay were going anywhere from $15 to there were several that went well over $100. So yes, there is some worth to them. And of course, condition is everything. You want to make sure they're not chipped or cracked. They've got to have the lid with them. But yes, they are worth something and so much fun to collect. Is it worth anything? Today, we're talking about salt and pepper shakers. And as collections go, it's a very easy one to get into collecting. And of course, you can have a very large collection and it doesn't take up a lot of room. So for some people, it may be a nostalgia thing, thinking about like what grandma's salt and pepper shakers were. For some people, they buy them as travel souvenirs. Other people collect like specific eras, like pre-1940 or from the 50s and 60s. Some collectors go for specifically like Lefton or Hull or specific manufacturers. And then, of course, there are all the different ways you can collect salt and pepper shakers. There are all holidays. There are animals. There are figurines. There are just glass ones. There are ones that are kind of retro for your kitchen. They are as varied as the stars go. So, are they worth anything? Well, recently on eBay, some of the ones, they were selling from anywhere from a couple of dollars up to, there was a set for $150. Those were from the 1960s. There was a pair from the 1950s that went for $80. There was a Fire King set that went for $70. A Waterford set that went for $49. And as I said, they are so varied. If you can think of a topic or a thing, there are salt and pepper shakers made into those particular things. So it's very interesting to collect. So are they worth anything? Some of them still are. And many people were just selling perhaps just the top of a salt and pepper shaker, or they were also just selling individual ones because you don't always have the set. Is it worth anything? Today, we're talking about vintage cookbooks. This cookbook is mine. I don't collect vintage cookbooks. It just happens to be a cookbook I own, but it's from the early 1960s. So this is one of those items that when you are cleaning out your parents' home, you're probably not going to look at those and think, oh, those old cookbooks are worth something. But they are. So some of them especially are worth something. The ones that are most popular are The Joy of Cooking, Mastering the Art of French Cooking by Julia Child, and of course, Betty Crocker cookbooks from the 50s and 60s. Condition is everything, but even if they are a little stained or a little worn, they can still have value. Now, some people collect specific things. Some might collect something all on French cooking. Some might collect maybe those little cookbooks that like churches put out or communities put out. So everyone has their different things that they collect when it comes to the cookbooks. There are actually Facebook groups that deal with cookbook collecting. And some people actually sell the pamphlets, the small pamphlets that were recipe books that maybe came with an appliance or with a specific food. So those sell as well. So recently sold on eBay. All right, so they were going from anywhere from $7 and up. Most were in the $10 to $20 range. There was a Martha Stewart Christmas cookbook that was $60. And then a Barbie cookbook from 1964 that was $96. So when you're cleaning out mom and dad's house, look at mom's cookbooks because there's a good chance that some of them are valuable. Is it worth anything? Well, with the holidays coming and some people doing baking, I thought it might be fun to cover cookie cutters. A little history to start. So cookie cutters first showed up in Germany in the 17th century. They were made out of tin and copper. Up until then, cookies had been kind of made in molds for the shapes. So of course having cookie cutters was awesome because they could replicate shapes very easily. Then the Germans in the 18th and 19th centuries brought them to the States, especially PA. So in the Victorian era, it was readily available for you to have cookie cutters that were made out of tin, often made by a tinsmith. And then in the early 1900s, they started to be able to be produced a little bit more, I guess, with industrialization and such. And originally they were in tin, and then they were made in aluminum. Plastic cookie cutters didn't show up until after World War II. I'm kind of a push it off the spoon cookie baker. I like eating cookies made with cookie cutters. They're very pretty, but doing it, yeah, that takes more patience than I have. If you like my videos, please leave a like and a comment for me. Are they worth anything? Well, of the ones recently sold on eBay, there was a group of aluminum cookie cutters that was sold for $55. There was a Christmas stocking in the box still for $28. There was a copper owl that sold for $70. And there was a tin lady that sold for $50. So most of your basic ones that were just sold by themselves were just going for a few dollars. So there's a little bit of value in them, but I think it's more sentimental than anything else. But please tell me, do you have cookie cutters? Do you still use them? Where'd you get them from? Were they your mom's or your grandmother's? And what's your favorite? And I hope that you enjoyed the holiday season. If you would like to learn more about what items in your home might fall into the category of antiques and collectibles and possibly be worth money, check out my book, Beginner's Guide to Antiques and Collectibles. It's available on Amazon.com for $24.95.